So you're curious, what is the most important or impactful hour in your schedule, part of a real estate business? Well, stick around, because in this video, we're going to cover the 4 key areas that constitute what Tom and many others would call your power of hour. Well, let's dive right into it. Thanks for sticking around. And the first question to ask is, what constitutes an effective hour of power? When you look at your real estate business and your overall goal, what we're questioning is, what is the most impactful or influential action or activity that we could take within a given hour to move you towards your goal? And if your goal is to increase sales and or transactions, the most powerful hour you could ever spend is with a ready now buyer or seller appointment. However, if we don't have appointments, what we can now dive into is, what activity would that be in your hour of power? It's obviously conversations that are qualifying people to identify how to get them to move to an appointment to buy or sell real estate. We're going to have a lot of conversations, and in your hour of power, while you're conversing with people, and Tom would say the currency, or that of the actual job scope and activities of a real estate agent, really is having conversations and negotiations. As you look at in those conversations, we're moving people into the act of transacting, and those that are transacting, the act of moving forward and negotiating contracts to close. So let's dive into making sure that what constitutes a qualified hour of power is showing up prepared, defining that of a conversation, meaning that when you speak to somebody, you're identifying where their interest levels are in real estate. Yes, it's important to build rapport, know about their family, know about work, know about what they do recreationally, but the dream, i.e. real estate, we need to identify where are their thoughts, and in this conversation, maybe that of how do they feel about the price of their home, and what are the plans that they have with the property. And for those that don't own one, so first qualification act is identifying, is this person a renter who's going to purchase a property, or is this a homeowner who would be downsizing, selling off their assets, or moving towards purchasing another property while having to sell the current one they have? Because if we've identified who this person is, renter or homeowner, the conversations around plans and or what do they think about the current price of their home leads you into more interest levels of, are they thinking about making a change? And how far along are they in those thoughts is a qualified conversation that would lead to the ability to book an appointment. So obviously, to qualify an effective hour of power, we would say that we booked appointments, because that is really the currency of a real estate agent, is appointments, not transactions. How many appointments can we go on will lead to a lot of transactions and that of making money. So let's integrate hour of power into your daily practice for point 2. So in your morning routine, you should start with your hour of power. So after you've role played, after you've looked at your hot sheets, what's happening in the market, right away, the first thing you do before anything else is your effective hour of power. So that way, no matter what happens the rest of the day, you know every single day you've moved your business forward in the most impactful and or powerful hour, and did not let anything else like drama, incomplete projects, getting organized, get in your way. So now what we have to figure out is, when it comes to instituting the hour of power into your daily practice and morning routine, is we need to track the effectiveness of it. It's not just a matter of doing it. Time is money. You want to do it with ease. You want to do it as fast as possible so you can spend the least amount of hours generating revenue, but you have to do it in a way that also makes for a great experience for that of your client, customer, or whoever you're conversing with. So let's dive into this. When you start looking at tracking effectiveness, what it would really be is, can I improve the amount of time that I have to spend to get the desired result I want? And the desired result is obviously your appointment targets. If you haven't gone through how to set an appointment target, make sure to go research our video, Appointment Targets or One-Page Business Plan, to learn how to do that. But let's just assume your goal is 4 appointments for this month. The amount of conversations that you have should lead to X amount of appointments. That would be tracking your effectiveness, meaning how many conversations do I have to generate an appointment? And now as we start looking at that quantity, now you can look at the end result, which is what happens in these conversations that gets me to an appointment or any next step that would lead me towards being closer and or able to follow up with people on another conversation that would lead me to an appointment. So the last part is really integrating a CRM or some type of client relationship tool. So as you look at most brokerages and or businesses provide these, you may not like the one you have, and Tom Ferry would suggest, what's the best CRM? And if you're asking that question, great question, he would say the one you use. So what we need to do is figure out what CRM can you use to make sure all these people that you're conversing with in your hour power, you can take some detailed notes, set some reminders, but most importantly, you can progress back to tracking effectiveness, the ability to follow up by providing useful information. So then that way, when the time comes that there is a relevant conversation to book an appointment towards not just buying and selling, but potentially an event, a seminar, something you're teaching, or that of education that you can get face-to-face, you will now be in a greater level of influence to the end goal of what we want, which is always one-on-one appointments to interview for the opportunity to help somebody buy or sell their property. So make sure to incorporate these 4 key areas of the most powerful hour you can have in your morning routine, which is that hour of power where you are conversing and booking appointments and tracking and measuring the results of how many hours it takes for you to hit your appointment targets.